Hello, 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 hello. Can everybody see me? We see you, we hear you. Okay, there we go. Pete, how's it going? Kirkenstein's monster. What in the actual? Are we back now? I think so. At least I hope so. Nadia, welcome, and thank you for pointing that out. I had no idea. It says that I'm streaming, but apparently, wasn't showing up for some reason. And for some reason, Restream is showing 2 YouTubes, not 1. I have no idea. I had to reload. Okay, well, ooh. Excuse me. I'm hoping that, it's fixed. Live from Polymarket Studio. Ooh, man. Today is just not a good day, folks. Where are we going? I have no idea. Update the titles. Cancel. I don't know why I can't see, any of this. I guess it's not, I guess it doesn't work like it used to. I have no idea. To invade Greenland, not Caracas? No, we already went there. Not a good day, I agree. Let's see, docs. Stream information. Yeah, Nook it is. Apparently. Yeah, you just closed the dockable window. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. It's the wrong title. Today's Wednesday. Alright, folks, there's the links if you want to support the channel directly. Thank you all for being here. It's kind of a weird, not weird, but it's kind of a different tone, because I don't even know where to start, folks. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, what is there to say? I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware of, what's been happening. Welcome, Bruno. In the last couple of hours. I think that, if you're not aware, don't worry. We'll get everybody up to speed. Of course, we'll get everybody up to speed. But yeah, I mean, like, what is there to say? We're still learning a lot. More information is coming in, but I think the video evidence speaks for itself. Let's just kind of get right into it. I don't know why it's streaming both to my phone and my to my PC. Yeah, if they really do invade Greenland, then yeah, it'll be the end of NATO. It has to be. Alright, well, I'm not gonna mess with it, because I have no idea what's going on. The UN headquarters should be in a true neutral country. I agree. But whatever. We'll talk about that in a moment. The threat is already the end of NATO? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I don't know. Europe seems to be very timid right now. Europe seems to have a very timid response. But we'll see. We'll see. I trust me. I would rather the United States get kicked out of NATO. NATO dissolves, and the European Union kind of bands together, and puts puts their foot down collectively. The EU treaty has a clause that calls on member states to defend and assist themselves if they're attacked. Yeah, I mean they have to, but they're being kind of mealy-mouthed about their response. It amounts to just strongly worded, just strong words right now. I feel like they need to be a lot stronger when dealing with the United States, because the United States is openly threatening the sovereignty of one of their members, and I think that it's not okay, and they should take that threat seriously. Anyways, it's been a weird day. Trying to start this stream, I've had so many problems just trying to get it going. Today has just been a weird day. Not good, not great. Honestly, I think we need to get our asses kicked. I agree, Kirkenstein's monster, welcome. I agree. The bully in the playground, is us. Quite frankly, the bully in the playground is us, and we need to be taken down a notch or 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, R6. They were emboldened in condemning in the U.S. attack against Caracas. Yeah, but kind of like, I mean, like, they need to be serious about building up their own military, and be very serious about putting it in Greenland. And I'm not joking. Like, this isn't like warmongering or anything like that. It's self-defense. Against a increasingly aggressive and rogue and unstable United States that is threatening their members' sovereignty. But yeah, Spain has been one of the few that have been a little bit more vocal about it. But I mean, like, they need to be absolutely serious about confronting the United States like you would confront a bully, because that's what we are. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff, let me tell you. Annexing Greenland is also a violation of the rights of the indigenous people who live there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rights of the indigenous people there are not even in the peripherals, okay, of the administration. They don't care about any of that. Ladybug, welcome. Boku, welcome. Orlando made it, welcome. Bad Lefty, hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Trump said he wanted the entire hemisphere, and Canada's up there twiddling its thumbs. Yeah, I mean, seriously, they need to be stronger than that. Looney Tunes, Surf Raid, welcome. I felt like a phone booth. Unbelievable day, I agree. Welcome, surfers. B-Cat, welcome. They're gonna wait for Trump to declare war on them before they do anything. Yeah. And how did that work out for them when a megalomaniac dictator started taking over, other countries? Instead of just stopping him immediately. If they had any sense, they would join together, EU plus Canada and South American countries. I agree. 1,000%. 100%. 100,000%. I agree. Alright, folks, since I see, where's my Twitch chat? Why isn't my Twitch chat, showing? My manager. Okay, here we are. So I see folks, coming in. Let me, start, here. Okay. Speaking of which, so more news on what's been happening in the Caribbean. Twitch ain't real. Proof that Twitch isn't real. The U.S. seizes Russian flag tanker that fled Venezuelan blockade, so that's cool. U.S. forces seized the Russian flag tanker on Wednesday that had evaded a naval blockade near Venezuela. The tanker, known as Marinera, had been secured, the U.S. official told the Washington Post. So we're now just actively, we're continuing to engage in piracy, essentially. The tanker has been pursued by the Coast Guard for weeks after the ship, originally named the Bella 1, evaded a naval blockade near Venezuela. In the time since, it had sailed back to the Atlantic and reflagged itself as a Russian-owned vessel. Its seizure is likely to raise tension between Washington and Moscow. The Marinera was last tracked in the North Atlantic Ocean, headed towards Iceland. The seizure operation was reported earlier by Reuters. In mid-December, President Trump ordered a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering or leaving Venezuela, in what was seen as a further escalation to get President Maduro to vacate his office. Maduro was captured over the weekend and is now facing charges, which are nonsense, yada yada yada. We don't need to go over there. Twitchless reality. But yeah, now we're just straight up continuing our piracy. Yeah, hashtag just piracy things. The ship didn't even have oil. Didn't have anything. Yeah, I could tell why they wanted to name it the Marinera. That's what I'm calling it, okay? Even if it's not spelled right, that's what I'm calling. That's what I'm calling it. Look at the oxidation, or like the paint. It's Marinera, okay? Now I really want pizza? Me too. That's a bucket tanker. Is that not the Marinera? Look, Marinera. Yeah, I remember when doing this would start wars by itself. Yeah, Pepperidge Farms remembers. I'm ordering pizza now. I'm glad that everybody's here too. Seriously, because like this is just like one of those times where just hanging out and just being here, just hanging out and just being here, is a big comfort. Is a big comfort. Let me tell you. So not only are we engaging in piracy, but we're also stealing, or trying to steal, oil that doesn't belong to us. There has been apparently, some deals floating around where, the U.S. is now going to act as the sales, as the distributor, I guess, of Venezuelan or oil. I genuinely don't know, how this is going to play out. I'm sure that this is going to benefit the oil companies involved, or the two oil companies that are going to benefit from this. God knows what the real plan is here, other than it involves oil. Moanep, welcome. I wouldn't roll with that boat if you paid me. The U.S. will control Venezuelan oil sales indefinitely. That's fantastic. Good to hear. Trump hanging in there by his Mussolini Hitler hybrid. Yeah. Yep. More Mussolini though, although it's kind of hard to tell. It's hard to tell. The U.S. copyrighted oil. All oil are belong to us. Some random chatters have been sent from the Serfs, which is a very woke left news program on Canadian television. You know, the 51st Straight. That's Canada. When I acquire Canada, the left-wing media will be censored. No more. No more. We're gonna stop the wokeness. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I hope they don't capitulate because the ass will only continue to grow. People never learn from the past. I agree. Literally, when I was reading, like, there was another article that I was reading, just kind of a side, a side step from this, a side tangent. What was I saying? There was an article that I was reading that there's absolutely talks about what to do should the United States really invade Greenland. Should they? Because they're not going to sell Greenland, okay? They're not going to sell Greenland. That's not going to happen. The United States is not going to be able to buy. Is not going to be able to buy Greenland, okay? So the option is going to end up being that they're going to have to invade it. And some European powers have decided, have been talking about what happens after that. And that is truly a scary moment. And also, we've seen this story before. We've seen this story before. We know what happens when you don't stop a megalomaniac on the warpath, okay? He's not going to stop at the Sudetenland, okay? He's not going to stop at annexing Austria. He's not going to stop at Poland, okay? Right, Denmark is not going to accept that. They've already said they're not going to sell Greenland. That's not happening. Anyone else picturing those green toy soldiers versus the U.S. Army? Soul Life, welcome. I don't know if I said hello. Copyright and patents is how you colonize intellectual property. I heard a TikToker say that and I thought it was a bar. Nice, I agree. Carlos knows history. Yes. Specifically the history that led to atrocities during World War II and before. It is imperative that we learn. Copyright also protects small creators against megacorps for now, to an extent, just a thought. Yeah, I mean, I think like the prevailing like underneath thought is it's not like the principle of copyright isn't really like the problem necessarily. I think it's just like the concept is like, hey, art should technically belong to everyone. Does that make sense? Like, art should technically belong to everyone. Like, if I make a piece of music, right? Like, I'm not gonna not let people use it. Right? I mean, that's just like kind of like the concept, right? Like no one should own art in that sense. But this is like, we're talking about like a post-capitalist kind of world, right? Really. So yeah. But in the meantime, yes, we need to provide protection in this context, yes. But like fundamentally, like, yeah, I believe that there's no such thing as like quote unquote intellectual property, right? Like that's not a thing. Like if I make a video game, right? Like I would want everybody to play it. Right? But we're talking about like a post-capitalist world. Which we don't live in, so. Failing the space TV. As your favorite president has been watching and reviewing. It is a 24-hour production of failing news. Fake failing news. Cancel them now. Also, we need people to stand up, not step down. I think people should get credit for the work that they actually do. Yeah, I mean, sure. Should artists be paid for their work? Yes. But I'm saying, but what I'm saying is like, if somebody, like, if some artist gets paid to do a mural, right? Like, that's fair, right? Completely different. Now, if I want to make that same mural, right? Like, should it matter? Does that make sense? Like, if I get paid to make a musical, right? Okay. But like if somebody wants to copy and cover those, then like it's fine, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe I just have a different understanding of how that would work, and I hit the wrong button, okay? Ignore that, chat. But I just don't make money off art, so I have a different perception of it. I don't have a different perception of it. Like I do make art, okay? I do make art, and I do play music and stuff like that. So like to me, I don't know. It's just like that's just not. It's a different concept for me in my head. Without copyright protection, written work can be stolen and used without compensating the artist. Yeah, I mean, in this context of in a capitalist world, yes. I guess my idea only works if we live in a post-capitalist world. That one's on me, chat, okay? I pressed the wrong button by accident. If you're a megacorp or someone who takes credit for the idea, that's not okay. I mean, yeah, that's definitely not okay. Yeah, people who don't make money off art always have a lot of opinion about copyright. I don't want anybody taking my shit. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Copyright as it stands today harms creativity. Well, I think the underlying issue would be whether or not could we have a scenario under capitalism where we could have a protection for artists, but also like allow the art to kind of just be spread around without too much. I don't know. Look, as someone, like, again, as someone who does art as well, I just don't, I don't know. I don't make money off it, so. But I also don't want people stealing the creative ideas, right? I'm for fair use since I make videos with poached media. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's fair use because you are, you're not stealing the content, right? Like when we do this, we're not just like sitting here and then like blowing this up and then taking away all this, like, yeah, let's take myself away. Let's take that away. And let's just take that away too. Right? And then just billing it as the majority report show, right? Like, we're not doing that. Does that make sense? That Steel Majority Report. Think something harms creativity in the art sounds analogous to it harms innovation in the tech industry. If you can't be bothered to ask, you can't use it, in my honest opinion. Get paid, but let people know it belongs to. Yeah, there you go. Right, like, no one's under the impression that that we are just like, we're just sitting here pretending to be the Majority Report while playing their content as pretending that we are them. Does that make sense? People should be free to reuse your work, but you need to give credit to the artist. Sure, I don't think people should be able to take other people's personal expression. It feels very violating. I completely understand that. How do you feel about white supremacists taking art by minorities and LGBTQ people and turning it into bigoted characters and using it to harass the content creators? Yeah, that's not okay. Yes, you are making a new piece of media. Right. Except your stolen background. Let's not talk about that, okay? Let's not talk about it. It's not stolen because there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the background that's not present in the Majority Report's background. See? Even my own studio is but a homage and a adaptation or a fair use version of the background. We're arguing about studio set backgrounds. Amazing. Hey buddy, we see you. I copyrighted Square 7 years ago. It would be funny if Sam copied all of Corliss's background stuff for one show. That would be really freaking funny. And I totally am on board with that idea. That would be hilarious, okay? I doubt Sammy knows who I am. Only by username, okay? I doubt Sam Cedar has ever watched a minute of the show. The extent that Sam Cedar knows about me is that that my username exists. Well, he's missing out. True. Winner of today's show, Big Cat. I understood that reference. Oh, he's missing out. I agree. Welcome, ground level news. Sam definitely knows you. He's mentioned you. Well, he's mentioned my username because I'm the moderator, so I don't know if he's aware of me. Hi on this crazy day in America. True. As his Discord mod. Yes, I'm also his Discord mod. Yes, I'm also one of the Discord mods that fly around like Thor the moment somebody pings the mod squad. I remember he mentioned, yeah, he mentioned all of us. He mentioned everyone in the mod people, all the mod team. So he did. In fact, I'm pretty sure I clipped him doing that. You're a mod at Majority Report? Yes, I have been. I have been for a minute. I'm in the Discord and I'm also the Twitch, one of the Twitch sides, on the Twitch. You mod their Twitch and Discord? Yes. Echo Rested Dragon, welcome. Watch a Sam Alex Jones impersonation will make you laugh so damn hard with Brian AJ impersonation. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. What a day indeed. We've got so much stuff to cover. Mod where? And in the Twitch side. I'm not. I don't mess too much with YouTube. Do you mod under the same account? Never noticed. Yeah, I'm there. I'm there. If you go in, if you go on the Twitch chat, you'll see me. You'll see me. Or although sometimes you won't see me unless you misbehave. Then you, then you will. Then you will. But yeah, I'm usually in the Twitch chat because that's where I'm paying attention to. Do you mod under the same account? Yep, I'm the same person in Twitch chat, and I'm the same it's the same account. This is me. In Twitch chat, this is the same account in Discord. But yeah, that's me. I got a mute to walk outside. Cops are curious. People are snooping. Yeesh. Oh, on Twitch. I thought on GlueTube. No, I'm not on YouTube. I think someone in chat said food is good. No, don't start the food discourse. Okay, we're just getting away from it. Incidentally, I'm also hungry. Get your popcorn ready. Yep. Lots of crazy news today. I need to be on Twitch more because YouTube is hella buggy lately. Yeah. It's hit or miss. I mean, look, Twitch is great. I like Twitch's user interface, but sometimes, you know, sometimes Twitch does some funky, weird stuff too. What's the name of the tanker? The Marinara. Minneapolis crazy news. Yep. I did see the video. In fact, I saw the video in the Majority Report as I was working. As I was working, I just see, you know, the Twitch chat start flying at 100 miles an hour, and I turn around, and I turn around, and boom, I start watching this this all unfold. Because some people started talking about it. Some people kept mentioning what happened, but it didn't hit until the video. Yeah, think of the most vanilla bland food possible, and that's Carlos's favorite. True. The USS Papa John's. What is your favorite food? It's pretty. Actually, it is very. It's boring. I don't want to say. Maybe boring. I want to say. It's literally just like rice, chicken, beans, and that's about it. Any combination of that, however you want to make it, generally speaking, will be a good way. Also, big fan of cereal. Big fan of cereal. Okay. And pizza. Me too. Me too. And it doesn't, you have to be very, like, you know, fancy. It's just like, just chicken. Curry, you can't go wrong with it. Yeah, but I like just plain white rice with some salt. And that's it. If you try to report the crime to the Minnesota police, they refer you to the DHS to report it instead. Minnesota's basically saying murder is legal as long as you can wear an ice costume. Yeah, they really need to we'll talk about it more. But yeah, these people need to be prosecuted. Curry, cheese, bacon chips, fries. No, I mean, I could probably do just like cheese fries, and bacon might be okay, but yeah, just cheese fries is fine. Or just regular fries, just fries, just fries. The state authorities say to send it to the DHS. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. We'll get to that after this. No salsa, no souls. You can double the rice or chicken for a little variety. These elected officials do not care if the people they represent live or die, but they want us to pretend they are better than us. Yep. Alex Jones is a wonderful journalist. He silences the woke left media like MSNBC. Watching his show or else I'll be appearing on a show tonight, 7 p.m. Your favorite resident exclusive interview. The mayor of Minneapolis said for ICE to get the F out. Yep. We'll be going over that too. Alright. I have 3 different sauces going on my attention, all competing my attention. I mean, it's okay. I do eat salsa, but not a lot. Not a lot. Like I said, or like someone in chat said, like think of like bland food, and that's basically like my the extent of my palate. The U.S. will control sales of sanctioned Venezuelan oil indefinitely as it prepares to roll back restrictions on the country's crude in global markets. Fantastic. Still surprised ICE hasn't come to Metro Detroit yet. Yeesh. We need to have that leverage and control over these oil sales to drive the changes that simply must happen in Venezuela. Yeah. Okay. It's not clear what portion of revenues from the sale, which analysts expect to be raised about 2.8 billion, would be shared with Venezuela. No, it's apparently going to an offshore account. Don't let Carl's ethnicity fool you. True. Look, I make salsa. I make good salsa. But because I don't do spice, I don't eat it. I don't eat it. I wonder if the mayor is going to do anything about it, though, because his police were protecting ICE today still. Phenomenal. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the spice. Whack. I don't know if they're trying to leave swing states alone or not. I don't know if they're afraid to F around in more densely populated cities. It's unclear. It really is. Do you do salt and pepper? Yes. While the White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said the two sides had struck a deal, Venezuela's state-run oil company PDVSA said in a statement that negotiations over oil sales were ongoing within the framework that exists between the two countries. This process is similar, based on similar rules to those enforced with international companies. The comments came after President Trump announced on social media that on Tuesday, yesterday, that Venezuela would be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. and it would be sold at market price because that's how we do things now. The White House, this is like mob stuff. This is mob stuff. You know, we gotta get the oil, okay? The White House said the money would be deposited into U.S.-controlled accounts offshore, which Trump said as president would control and use to the benefit of the people of Venezuela and the U.S. Because, yeah, no, that's... I don't trust him on that one. The White House officials say on Wednesday that they had already taken steps to start marketing the oil and the administration was working with key banks and commodity firms to execute the sales. As part of the plan, the U.S. is preparing to selectively roll back American sanctions, which have restricted sales of Venezuelan crude for decades. We're going to let the oil flow, Wright said, speaking at a conference with energy executives in Miami. So I hate the framing of this, okay? I really hate the framing of this. These aren't energy executives, they're oil executives, okay? He added that the money would then flow back into Venezuela. I doubt that. I doubt that. We need the oil. Keep lying to the press, Carolyn Levitt. Distract them from the real reason why I'm trying to take over Venezuela. You know, they keep talking about Epstein. You know, Epstein. Does anybody know who Epstein is? And stealing their oil to turn everything USA America first, not last. You know? The media is full of collaborators, 100%. Operation Iraqi Liberation. Literally the exact same. Miami, color me shocked. We're not stealing anyone's oil, he added after a later appearance on CNBC in which she said the administration's first priority for the funds was to stabilize the country's economy. Yeah, okay. Hey, real quick, when in history has the United States successfully stabilized a country's economy after toppling the head of state? Can somebody like refresh my memory on when was the last time we did that? Need to draw out any deal they make as long as possible because these motherfuckers are gonna turn around and ask for more. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said the aim was to disperse the money in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on that stabilization front. Well, the regime is still there, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you think about, it doesn't matter what you think about Maduro. Maduro's government is still there, okay? They haven't gone anywhere. The only thing that happened is that Maduro was deposed. That's it. He was kidnapped in the middle of the night. And that's it. But the government is still there. Analysts said the impact of resuming oil sales would depend on the details, but the plan drew swift criticism from Democrats with Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut calling it insane. Of course. This whole thing is insane. It really is. They're talking about stealing the Venezuelan oil. At gunpoint for a period of time undefined as leverage for micromanaging the country. The scope and insanity of the plan is absolutely stunning. Yep. Abducted and they murdered 80 people to achieve that. Yep. Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves, but years of disinvestment, mismanagement, and U.S. sanctions have left it with output of only about 1 million barrels a day, less than 1% of global production. That supply, which provided critical resources to the Venezuelan government, in recent years have been going primarily to China, but that too has been disrupted in recent months after the U.S. ramped up strikes and a blockade of Venezuelan tankers as part of its pressure campaign against Maduro. No, that's not what's happening. What's happening is that they were killing people in the middle of the ocean for no reason. The pressure campaign that is being dishonestly depicted here is not a pressure campaign. It's war crimes. They killed China. They killed about 100 and something people, 110 people ish. As far as we know, what we know, certainly over 100 people. That's not a pressure campaign, okay? It's a series of war crimes and piracy. Sorry, folks, my thing was about to die. Yeah. Can you even turn off top chat? I can't even raid, okay? I can't even raid. On Wednesday, Beijing's former foreign minister condemned the U.S. seizure of Maduro and the U.S. plans to exert control over Venezuela's oil reserves. Trump is due to meet with the oil executives at the White House on Friday, which, by the way, got smacked that thing. More advanced warning than Congress did. Oil prices, which are already relatively low amid steady supply and muted demand, expectations slipped further over the last week on the prospect that Venezuela might have increased access to the global market. But analysts warned that meaningful expansion of the country's output will take years and billions of dollars of investment, which firms may be hesitant to undertake, given less risky opportunities in the US and other countries such as Guyana. So, yeah. However, whatever Boku's having, Fatty Moles, I wrote a song about it. Top chat is useless so long as they refuse to be transparent about what certain comments, why certain comments get filtered and others do not. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't particularly do the YouTube game very well, so it is what it is. Song to the tune of "Smelly Cat." So yeah, we'll be controlling the sale of Venezuelan oil. For the foreseeable future. Where is this money going to go? Into apparently offshore accounts, which surely can be trusted. Top chat needs to be a toggle button in settings already. Say it. I don't know how Smelly Cat would go. So we were talking about Greenland earlier. Apparently some Republicans are not okay with it. So if they really were, because like all of this means nothing to me. Okay, these are just empty words coming from Republicans, but the fact that some of them are now coming out of the woodwork saying that this is not okay, it just simply like doesn't do anything for me. If Republicans were serious about like reining in the president, at any given point, since they control the House and the Senate, could simply threaten with removing Trump. Okay, if they were actually serious about this, because this entire thing is unhinged. Okay, the idea that Trump wants to take Greenland is unhinged. Okay, and Republicans being the ones that control Congress, both the House and the Senate, at any given point can just say, if you do this and if you keep talking about this, we're going to impeach you. And don't worry, Republicans and Democrats aren't serious. Yeah, true. Fetterman is okay with it, though. His wife needs to get his ass to resign. Yeah, Fetterman is just a Republican in a hoodie. Okay? I had some clever, like, was a Democrat and Republican clothes, but he's just a Republican in a hoodie. That's it. Top Republicans on Capitol Hill are publicly breaking with President Trump. Oh no, they're publicly saying things. An unusual show of dissent that underscores how seriously the president allies view the situation. Yeah, I'm sure. You know, thanks Politico for really giving them a lifeline here. Trump is ruling out military coercion to take the self-governing island, which is Danish territory and therefore part of NATO. Several leading defense hawks have dismissed that option, contending it would do It would do lasting damage to U.S. alliance and strategic interests in Europe and the Arctic. This is a topic that defense hawks. Man, I love it. Right? Like, so do you mean war hawks? Okay. If a party is complicit with war crimes on a large scale, it should be banned. I agree. She's his caretaker and is letting him turn himself into one of the most despised creatures in PA. This is a topic that should be dropped to the Senate Armed Services Chair, Roger Wicker. Senator Mitch McConnell, who leads the Senate panel that controls defense spending, took an even more critical tone. Oh no, the more critical tone. Arguing it would amount to trampling the sovereignty, respect, and trust of our allies. Okay, so you could at any given point, any of these Washington creatures can say that if the president continues down this path, we will impeach and remove him, because we would be able to impeach and remove him because Democrats would absolutely jump on that. Enough Democrats would jump on that. Threats and intimidation by U.S. officials over American ownership of Greenland are as unseemly as they are counterproductive, said McConnell in a statement, and the use of force to seize the sovereign democratic territory of one of America's most loyal and capable allies would be especially catastrophic act of self-harm to America and its global influence. So yeah, counterpoint, grow a freaking spine and say, if you don't stop, then we will impeach you and remove you. Okay? But they're not serious about any of this. Was it a really weird choice for Europe to place its security in the hands of the US? Like, the GOP has had contempt for them for years. They were always one bad election away from this scenario. 1000%. Politico's a woke news that always gives fake pollings showing how my ratings are... Ooh, my throat. I can't do it, folks. Ooh, it's just one of those days. I think a lot of politicians are secretly Mormon. I agree. They were one bad election away from this. It's not just Mitch, he was the only strong one. I thought you said secretly morons at first, and then I thought same difference. Yeah. That's funny. Caroline Leavitt, all options are on the table for President Trump. She told reporters at the White House briefing the president's first option has been diplomacy. Which is not going to happen. Which is not going to happen. There's no diplomacy here, okay? They're not going to sell Greenland. That's not happening. That's not going to happen.